very much welcome to all of you down here at the Amy's Gran Fondo. It's a wonderful event last year. It was stunning. Cannot wait to see it kick off again tomorrow. 4,000 people riding around this wonderful part of the world. We might just kick off with a couple of questions. Panellists, feel free to answer and jump in with your buzzers. But we'll kick it off with you, David Lee, Head of Fundraising for Amy Gillett Foundation. First of all, congratulations for what the foundation is doing for people on 2 wheels and also for people on 4 wheels. Just give us a quick précis about the last few months, what you guys have been up to, not just in events like this, but with your role as well.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. Firstly, welcome everybody. It's an exciting opportunity to again have the third Amy's Gran Fondo, and the profile of the event keeps continuing to grow. Look, the foundation, it's not just the last few months. The Amita Matters campaign, which hopefully all of you with the bags that are walking around today are certainly aware of, has been growing now for 3.5 years. And in that time, you know, the awareness has increased significantly. It's a very simple message, and for all of us who love riding a bike, at the end of the day, as long as everyone who is riding can be given just that little bit extra space, then the chances of an incident occurring are reduced. So it's a simple message, one we continue to encourage. And partners like Europcar with the bags, the stickers on the back of every car around Australia now, every Europe car now features an Amita Matters sticker, is just helping to really get that message out there.
The stickers we're seeing more of, and of course Europcar coming to the party as well by putting them on their rental cars. How much impact do you think is that going to have just on the wider population of people who might not be so au fait with what you guys are up to?
Look, it's about trying to get that message to people who don't think about it, who don't look out for bike riders. So it's absolutely making a difference, and we know that just from a lot of the measurements and things that we have in place, that more people now are aware of it and are looking out for bike riders. The thing that's, I suppose, from the foundation's perspective, and the single biggest thing we can do to make a difference is advocacy leading to change from a legal perspective. If we can try and continue to work with governments, and we're having a lot of success in recent months in them looking at the law and defining what is a safe passing distance, because at the moment the law doesn't properly define that, and that's going to lead us to a lot better place. It's a lot easier to enforce in a situation from police perspective, witnesses, etc. If someone can be found to have perhaps not done the right thing in a certain circumstance. So that's where a core part of what the foundation's focus is. It's the campaign, the awareness, but it's also behind the scenes a lot of hard work going into the lobbying with governments and the advocacy side of things.
Well, that's a beautiful segue. Thank you very much. As we might have a chat to Henry, who is a personal injury lawyer, and if it does go south and you do find yourself on the end, Henry, you would have seen this a number of times that maybe people aren't actually aware that they have rights as a bike rider, and maybe you could give us a little bit of insight into that, and maybe also some tips if you do find yourself in a position where you might need some sort of representation.
Well, before I start, I'd like to say thank you for being here, but I actually want to follow up with what David just said about that awareness factor, because from my perspective, the law has a role to play when something does go wrong, but it's really wonderful if you can get that little nudge, a little awareness every time, that little reminder as you get in the car, as you're driving on the road, as you see the sticker on someone's car, they should be looking out for that bicyclist, to give them that space. And that's really, I think, what the Amy Gillett Foundation really stands for me. It's just a wonderful opportunity to give that nudge, that one extra second that a bicyclist may need between going home safely and not. And that's I think is the beauty of it all. From my perspective, I do see the results of the mistakes, the accidents that do occur. And when they do occur, there are opportunities for people to get assistance. We've created a world of assistance. There's assurance in all different aspects of our lives. And Victoria is quite blessed with the Transport Accident Commission having a wide range of opportunities for someone when they get hurt involving a car. The amount of benefits from that world is tremendous. And even if you don't know the identity of the car, you can still get that assistance. You don't even need to have impact with the car, just the car has to be involved in your accident. So that world's available. And then we all have worlds of our own in our homes and our contents, and that actually provides us with assistance also when accidents occur. So there's just a range of those opportunities available, and anyone who practices my area of law, personal injury, would be able to assist someone. So those are my thoughts.
Do you find people are informed or not? Do you think, especially bike riders, are they informed as a group, or do they need a little bit more education, maybe by talking to people like yourself and having yourself talk to the people like you are now? Is that something that's required?
There's a wide ignorance of the availability of support that's available, especially when one of us as a cyclist makes a mistake. People don't realize that we actually are covered by our home and contents policies in whatever we do outside the home. So whether we're riding a bicycle or doing something in a public space, if we make a mistake, we're actually carrying a lot of protection for the person that we may have injured by that mistake. And one of the things that I try to educate people is if you do make the mistake, you can just step forward and tell someone that. And tell them that I've actually got insurance to help you for my mistake, which happens.
And I guess for you as well, seeing the fact that you normally do ride with somebody as well, keeping that in mind as well, that if you can't be spoken for, maybe the riding partner can speak for you.
Yeah, I mentioned that to you before, is that if anyone's available, they can just immediately step up and ask the person who could have been involved, can I have your name, can I have your details? And that person shouldn't be scared of giving them. Most of the time we actually will assist people by telling that information. And I wish that would be a lot more freely given instead of people being scared.
Well, Henry, your advice is always welcome here. Brodie, we'll flick across to you. Put on your doctor hat for 2 seconds, then we'll come back to your rider hat. Your doctor hat tomorrow. Anybody who's not attempted something like this, distance-wise, terrain-wise, given your background, a couple of hints, maybe nutritionally, hydrationally, and what you see as some of the crux points for this course.
Thanks, Phil. What I think is really interesting is that there's a lot of people in this ride that aren't the 3-hour riders, and they're not the KOM winners. They're people who are going to take a lot longer to do this, and they often don't drink enough. There's been a fantastic study that the AIS did that says that you climb faster up a climb with 2 full biddens on your bike than if you're dehydrated and you have no full biddens on your bike. You have no biddens at all. So people worry about weight, and they worry about time lost by stopping. There is absolutely no disadvantage in stopping to fill up with some hydrolyte and some more water on the aid stations tomorrow. And we know that we want people really well hydrated beforehand. We want them eating well and drinking well tonight, and drinking frequently during the day. But people can get dehydrated on cooler days like the weather we're having now, because they often forget to drink. We know that the better hydrated you are and the better fed you are, the more glycogen you preserve and the more efficiently you ride and the less heat you lose. So you'll actually feel more comfortable and you'll ride better. So it's so important tomorrow to really kind of have that be your main focus is am I hungry? Am I thirsty? Do I need to keep that stuff up? And that's why Hydrolyte is a great product, and that's why I work with them, because I like the taste and it's lower in sugar and it contains all the electrolytes that you need. So that's my pure belief about the product, and I'm really happy to be part of it.
KOM last year, you were the quickest up it. It's long and it's pretty draining. What are your thoughts, first of all, about how fast you're going to climb it, and secondly, how do you tackle it as anybody who's rolling up it?
To go up it as fast as you can, it's better off to not try and go out too hard at the bottom, because if you go out too hard, you'll slow down a lot more than you would if you just tried to maintain an even pace. But if you're racing it, it's kind of hard to just maintain an even pace, because someone's going to come up your right, someone's going to come up the left, and you kind of just have to do what you have to do to get there to the line first. But given that it's a timed climb and not just a normal first person to the top, you get people starting in the second group and chasing onto the front group, and then all they have to do is finish with those front people and they've beaten them, or I'd drop off the back of the front group and right back on at the start of the climb. And you get people who finish with you, but they're technically 30 seconds behind you. Gran Fondo's got some interesting tactics in it. I know Tom Lieber, who won last year, started in the second wave.
But he finished the climb 30 seconds ahead of himself.
Somehow.
Correct.
But he started in the second group on the road, and immediately about 4 of them rode across to the front group, so all he had to do was finish with the people at the front, and he beat them by 2 minutes. So you get kind of a few dodgy tactics going on, but anything goes at the race.
I've actually heard that you have to actually start the third group tomorrow. Yeah, and next year it's actually going to be the fifth group, so it's already predicted.
Just go straight for the back group. And it's like a mini time trial. You did time trial for 20 seconds, catch a couple of people. That happened in Europe a few years ago, actually. My dad decided to drag me around.
That's how I do my triathlons. I pace myself get out of the water last and just sort of make my way back through the...
Yeah, because you're not allowed to draft, but you're right up.
It's called pacing.
As close as
it's
you
called
can.
pacing, all right? It's not drafting, it's pacing.
Yeah, it's not drafting if you go past them.
Okay, Phil, just before we do wrap this up, give us you've been around this course 100 times. Give us a couple of insights, crux points, and ways to avoid maybe blowing to pieces on this course.
Yeah, Reece put a point there. He was talking about the climb. Well, really, that should be how you should approach this entire ride. Is just don't go hard too early. It's easy to get sort of wound up in the emotion of everything, get carried away in the opening kilometres and go too fast early on, and then by the time you get round the back and come up the last climb, you can lose a lot of time there because you've just gone out too hard early. So for myself, I mean, I live down here, so I get to ride the circuit quite often, and I really have to take it easy early on. But then I'm not racing, so I'd be taking. But yeah, for me, I just take it easy on the main climb of the day, and if you've got something left, just give it a good kick on the last climb up to Ben Warren. So and like what Bertie said, you just got to make sure you stay hydrated, and there's a couple of stops around the way where you can stop and fill up. There's even the brewery over there in Forest. So I'm not sure if they're going to be open at 9 o'clock for the early birds, but certainly by the time I get there, I'll be stopping there for a coffee, okay, not for a beer. But no, yeah, just stay hydrated and just enjoy the day. It's a beautiful district, and I'm proud of it. I'm a bit of an ambassador for the district since I live down here, but I feel very fortunate and just enjoy the day.